David was a common man and he was living a middle class life. But he was surrounded by the money for the most part of his day. Actually, he was working for Loomis Fargo security agency and he was one of their armored vehicle drivers. His duty was to transfer millions of dollars, but his paycheck was less than $5 per hour. It was all going pretty good till he decided something that is going to shock whole of America. This is the story of 1997 Loomis Fargo bank heist.
In North Carolina, $17 million is stolen from a Loomis Fargo warehouse.
When FBI were forced to conduct international manhunt, and on this story, probably in 2016, a movie named Masterminds was made. And amazingly, David worked in this movie and was not even paid a single dime. Actually, David was a veteran and he fought for his country in the Gulf War, and after the retirement, he joined Loomis Fargo as security guard, and eventually he became the vault supervisor. He was working approximately 70 to 80 hours a week, and in return he was getting $8 an hour, and he was unable to support his family. So one day he did the unexpected. But before that, you need to know about two more characters in this story. First one is Kelly Campbell. She was bold and had good communication skills, and she met David in Loomis Fargo as she was also working for the same company. So they became good friends and started meeting even after Kelly left the job. Second character here is named as Steve Chambers, and he was a professional criminal and he was always looking for the shortcuts. And Kelly helped him meet David and they all became good friends. And as soon as he knew that David is working for the Loomis Fargo and he's a vault supervisor now, he had a really bad idea. Why shouldn't we just take the money and run away? But to carry out his plans, he first needed to convince David, cause Kelly was already onto it. So they started convincing David. And David, who was already struggling with his life, was an easy mission. So with the dreams of big and wealthy life, Kelly's support, and David's frustrating life, David was in. So they started planning. But keep in mind that the only criminal mind here was the Steve. But he has never ever done anything this big in his life. And Kelly and David were just the common people. So they come out with a plan that made whole of the world laugh. And their plan was quite simple. Like, after David's duty on 4th of October 1997, he was going to stay in the vault, turn off the security cameras, retake it video cassettes, store money in bank's armored vehicle and escape. David would only take $50,000 and leaves to Mexico, because to cross that border legally you cannot take more than $50,000. All the remaining cash will be with Steve, and after the things cool down, David will come back and they all three will split. So it happened. On 4th of October 1997 at 6 p.m, David sent all of his junior staff home. Now he was alone in the vault and all the vault responsibilities were with David. So according to the plan, he went into the vault and breaks the two security cameras, removed the security cassettes, but accidentally he forgot about the third camera that was hidden in a corner and was still recording. And unfortunately for David, there were all $20 bills and nearly 80,000 stacks of cash. And it took him almost 2 hours to load $17.3 million. And at that time, he didn't even know that it was going to be the second biggest robbery in history of America. After loading all of the cash, he started dancing, and his dance was also recorded in the third security camera. And he was gone. Next morning, when the other employees came, they saw that the vault keys were missing, so they called the police. And only David was not present at that time, so he was the primary suspect. And after reviewing the footage, David was found dancing in the vault. And he was constantly messaging someone on his pager, so it was also sure that he was not alone. They started searching for David, and after 2 days, they found the armored vehicle in the forest near the city. And there were approximately $3 million cash still left in the van. Because it was too much to carry for them, removed CCTV cassettes were also found in that van. Whereas David was in Mexico, and according to plan, he rented out a luxury beach villa and started living there. There was a little problem for the police as these bills were not marked, so they cannot be tracked. So they printed the pictures of David with the prize money of $500,000 for whoever will give the information about this robbery, or someone around you just got instantly rich. High number of calls started coming due to the high prize money. They have to create a separate desk for these calls, and most of them were just to try their luck and to get money. But one call changed everything. A man called the police and told his neighbor is rich instantly. And guess who he was? Steve Chambers. So FBI started following him, and they got to know that he just bought a new home with his wife and a new BMW. And after checking their bank account, they got to know that their bank account was growing after 4th October, and the bank teller confirmed that they deposited all the $20 bills. But they didn't make any move because they wanted to know about David. FBI started tapping Steve Chambers' phone, and they heard a call between Steve and Mike, and they were talking about killing David because they wanted all of the money and no loose ends. Then FBI arrested Mike, and he spit out the whole plan. He told FBI that David was in Mexico, and after robbing the vault, they went to Ronald's and Ronald's printing press and transferred money to another van in that printing press parking lot. And amazingly, Steve worked there. It was all so stupid that in first 10 days of investigation, FBI knows it all. But FBI waited 5 months to collect all the evidences, to finally on 1st of March 1998, David was arrested in Mexico. Next day, Steve, his wife Mitchells, and Kelly were also arrested from North Carolina. FBI recovered 88% of the stolen cash. Steve Chambers was imprisoned for 11 years, and David was imprisoned for 7 years and was fined $3 million missing dollars, which he never used. So when he was hired as a consultant manager in Mastermind movie, he was not paid a single dime because it was going to the government to pay his fine. David is still working in America, and according to him, he cannot pay the full fine even he worked for his whole life. This was the second biggest robbery in the history of America, and it was the stupidest of all.